Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
And live right now, 4:30, wet road conditions out there on this Wednesday morning, and a tree is down across a road in Durham. We have the WRAL storm tracker on the road in Raleigh. How this morning's weather could affect your drive.
And here's a look at the big picture. We still have a lot of rain to deal with, mainly this morning. I'll show you when it starts to taper off.
Shots fired around midnight. Someone opened fire on a gas station in Durham. What we've learned from police in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
And it is a must-win Game 5 for the Canes. This is a live look inside the Lenovo Center. The work the Canes need to do to keep their season alive tonight. Another shot at it on home ice this evening. We'll be there to preview the game. 4:30 is the time right now, your Wednesday morning. I'm Jeff Hogan as we bring you inside the WRAL studio.
And I'm Renee Chu. Yes, a must win for the Canes. And if you're up at 4:31 this morning joining us, that's a win right there. This rain out there. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner and the WRAL Severe Weather Center waking up and still that slow soaker of a rain.
Yes, yeah, just kind of drizzly out there. Mostly light and patchy. This is a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. There's a low that's down into South Carolina that's kind of right up the coast. And so that's where a lot of the activity will end up being today. There's a level 1 risk down to the south, which we'll take a look at coming up. But it doesn't affect most of our viewing area. Just some light patchy rain from Clayton to Wilson's Mills up through Bailey, Lucama, and on up north up toward Roanoke Rapids. This is a look at Roxborough this morning. You can see that rain is coming down. Even though it may not look terribly heavy on the radar, it is drizzly out there and messy and wet really everywhere. Futurecast shows a little bit of rain out there for us right now, and then that continues to move on out, really tapers off as we get into 6 or 7 o'clock, but still some light patchy rain there at lunchtime. After that, we may not see a whole lot of sunshine this afternoon, but we do start to see that rain tapering off a little bit, except for maybe down closer to the coast. So we'll talk more about what's ahead later in the week coming up. But early showers out there, it's definitely some fog and some spray on the roads, and then turning drier later on this afternoon. It'll be a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. We're going to finally climb out of the 60s, but it'll be 60s all the way up until about 1 o'clock this afternoon. And then as the rain tapers off, we'll climb into the mid 70s. It already looks like we'll have a WRAL weather alert day for Friday. Let's take a look quickly at that. Look at that level 2 risk already. We're going to talk more about that timeline coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, at 4:32. Good morning, everybody. Great to start the Wednesday off with you. Let's get right to the WRAL storm tracker because of these wet road conditions out there. Let's check in with Kelsey Coffey. You're in Wake County on the Beltline. What are you seeing right now?
Ken, we're seeing exactly what Elizabeth just mentioned. That light patchy rain will give you a live look now at the Beltline. But we're also seeing some fog, which is something else that Elizabeth had mentioned. Right now, we're on our way to a report of a tree down near New Bern Avenue. So we'll be sure to check that out for you all as you are headed out on your morning commute. But as far as your morning drive, wet, messy roads, really anywhere you go. But we shouldn't be worried about any really hard rain. So we'll be sure to keep you updated in the next 30 minutes about that tree down. Ken, what else can you tell folks before they head out the door today?
Yeah, the good news is right now there's very light traffic out there. We just have Raleigh police helping a stalled vehicle on Wade Avenue near the Beltline. Early, we had reports of a crash on I-95 South, but according to the State Highway Patrol around the Dorchester area, that cleared in just about 30 minutes ago. So really, all our major routes are free and clear this morning, including here in I-87 and Hodge Road, very light traffic. So I can't stress enough this morning, leave the house a little sooner than usual just to be on the safe side. And once you do, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
And Kelsey's going to mention, see if she can see if a tree is down blocking a road or down on any power lines. We are seeing the effects of this overnight rain in Durham. There is a downed tree that's blocking a road right now. And Allie Cadlubar is in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Allie, this tree is down on Marley Drive near South Miami Boulevard.
Yes, exactly right. And just in the past 5 minutes, we've actually seen utility crews come up to that downed tree right here on Marley Drive and start to work on these power lines here. But you can see that oak snapped in the middle of the road right there. You can also see that it pulled down some of those power lines or utility lines. And this has only affected about 25 people. That's according to the Duke Energy outage map. So luckily, not a major outage, damage, but definitely affecting everyone right here on this street. Now, it says that reports came in around midnight, so people have been without power for a while now, and it doesn't say that they are going to restore power anytime soon. It says restoration is expected by 11 a.m. Luckily, crews are out here working on it, so if you are watching and you're on this street, they are working to repair and restore these lines here, but we're going to keep you updated throughout the morning. We're still working to find out how long this process is going to take, because you can see that downed tree, it is snapped right in the middle of the road. Reporting in Durham, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Breaking news overnight, a gas station in Durham riddled with bullets. This happened at the BP station on North Alston Avenue at about 11:30. The WRL breaking news tracker was there while officers investigated. Police say a lot of shots were fired there, but no one was hurt. We're working to learn more about what led up to this gunfire.
The Trump administration is suing North Carolina, saying the state violated federal election rules. The lawsuit echoes claims made by Republican Jefferson Griffin earlier this year. He unsuccessfully sued to overturn the results of last year's state Supreme Court election. He lost by fewer than 800 votes. The Elections Board recently switched from Democratic to Republican control. The state's new elections director tells WRAL he agrees problems need to be addressed and they are reviewing the complaint.
Happening today, Governor Josh Stein plans to give his first speech on his energy priorities. Stein will speak at the Emerging Issues Forum this morning at NC State. Stein pushed for a focus on clean and renewable energy in his campaign and as Attorney General. His speech is scheduled for 11 this morning, and our NC Capitol team will be there. We'll have full details on Stein's proposals during our evening news from 4 to 7:30 tonight.
It's another must-win situation for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. They will host the Florida Panthers for Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. Puck drop is at 8 tonight. That's just under 15 and a half hours. WRAL's Laura Levine is live inside Lenovo Center this morning. Laura, the Canes will look to keep their momentum going after that win in Game 4.
Renee, good morning. The Carolina Hurricanes are aiming to earn another day as they return home for Game 5 here in the Eastern Conference Final. Now, they do have the home ice advantage, but we know it's going to be another tough game in this Eastern Conference Final. So with their backs against the wall, the Carolina Hurricanes snap back into the form that they had rolled through the first two rounds of the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, Monday's matchup presented a win-or-go-home scenario, but the Canes were aiming to do both. Coach Rod Brindamore said the players are giving it all they got, and the rookies are stepping up in major ways. Now, the next challenge is, well, doing it all over again. I almost slipped.
I hope it can give us some confidence to keep going and win another one. But obviously, they're gonna come out and throw their best at us, and we need to match what we did last game and exceed that.
Yeah, just win another game. Well, that's easier said than done, of course, especially against this veteran group in Florida, which is seeking its third straight trip to the Stanley Cup Final. We'll see what happens tonight when the puck drops at 8 p.m. here at the Lenovo Center. Laura Levine, WRAL News. We're live in Raleigh.
Anything is possible. We'll have exclusive insights and expert analysis of tonight's game on Canes exclusive post-game live. Don't miss it at 11:25 tonight on WRAL.
New this morning, police in Connecticut have a person in custody after a shooting at a mall hurt 5 people. The shooting happened at a mall in Waterbury, Connecticut, and police say a fight got out of control and escalated into gunfire. 5 adults who were shot are all expected to survive. Police say this was not a random act of violence and there's no ongoing threat to the public.
The Durham Association of Educators is calling on the county to increase its funding for schools. The county manager is recommending a $10 million budget increase for Durham public schools. The school system is asking for a $16 million increase. The group says it needs even more than that. They say it's needed to improve teacher retention and classroom conditions and keep bus driver positions staffed. Durham Public Schools is making its own push to improve conditions for staff. The school system announced a new meet and confer policy. Superintendent Anthony Lewis and other administrators will meet regularly with staff to address their concerns.
This morning, SpaceX is trying to determine where its Starship vehicle fell after it broke up during a test flight. That is a 60-story rocket. It blasted off from Texas. It was the 9th uncrewed test flight of Starship. The ship tumbled out of control and broke apart before it could re-enter Earth's atmosphere. SpaceX says a leak in the fuel tank was the cause. Contact with the ship was lost. SpaceX says it believes the debris fell in the Indian Ocean.
Starting today, you'll have to pay to check your bag with Southwest Airlines. The airline will now charge $35 for your first bag and $45 for your second. It's a change from Southwest's longtime bags fly free policy. Not everyone will be charged, including the airline's A-list flyers and business fare passengers.
4:40 the time on your Wednesday morning. Still ahead, the Buc-ee's battle grows. Calls are getting louder to stop a new Buc-ee's plan for our area. Why one group says it will be a problem in their community.
And flood prevention, how one team is working to find a solution to the ongoing issue along parts of our coast.
I'll give you this live look in Chapel Hill. Right now, you see those wet streets on Franklin Street at the intersection there from the top of the hill camera. Elizabeth Gardner will tell us how long this wet weather will last.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:44. Some rain out there on the radar. Most of it is light and patchy, but boy, we had a good bit of rain overnight last night, so the roads are going to feel really messy as you head out, at least right now. We may see some improving conditions as we get through the morning, though, as the rain starts to taper off, and we should be much drier this afternoon than we were yesterday. Still some scattered light rain over here in Henderson, from Wilson up toward Enfield and Roanoke Rapids, seeing some scattered rain. Hour by hour rain chances, just 30 to 40% chance this morning, and then this afternoon it goes down to a 20% chance, so can't completely rule it out. But it's not going to be that all-day rain that we saw yesterday. We're going to talk about how much rain we've seen in the last 24 hours or so coming up. But it is pretty messy feeling out there. 65 in Wilson, 66 in Durham, 66 in Fayetteville, and everywhere you go, you're going to run into some wet conditions. Temperatures are cool this morning in the low 60s. We climb into the mid-70s this afternoon. Ken?
What's happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center? Of course, we got the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning. This is with the help of photographer Mark Alexa, giving us a live look at New Bern Avenue this morning. You can see the windshield wipers are going. The great news is very light traffic, and that's really the good news here. So give yourself some extra time if you're about to head out this morning. As we come back into the WRAL Traffic Center, I want to remind you of a tree down on Marley Drive near South Miami Boulevard this morning. It's a situation that's completely blocking that road. I'll give you an update right now. It's right here. It's in a residential area. Your best bet will probably be to use Peyton Avenue as an alternate route just to avoid that area right now.
The battle over Buc-ee's is intensifying in Mebane. Environmental activists spoke out against plans to bring the supersized gas station chain to this area. It's scheduled to be built off I-40 and I-85. It would be the first Buc-ee's in North Carolina. WRAL's Flynn Snyder has concerns and how residents are responding to them.
Activists voiced their concerns over possible pollution and disruption to nearby homes. It's the prospect of nearly 700 parking spaces and 120 gas pumps at this sprawling land off I-40 that has some saying the store could not just be a nuisance, but also a hazard.
This is more than a story about a gas station. This is a story about public health, environmental justice, and the true cost of unchecked corporate development.
The group, called 7 Directions of Service, listed findings revealed in this report called Buc-ee's Burden. They say it outlines concerns about toxic pollution from gas stations, underground gas tanks, and idling cars. The indigenous-led group also claims the 74,000-square-foot store would be built on ground sacred to North Carolina tribes.
The proposed Buc-ee's right here in Mebane would bring up to 2,000 cars per hour, thereby increasing local air pollution. This is not just an inconvenience. This is a public health crisis.
We asked the city of Mebane for a response to the group's claims. A spokesperson directed us to records from a series of public hearings in January last year about Buc-ee's. There, the city says state and local officials researched areas of concern and presented findings to council members who unanimously approved the project.
I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see.
Mebane resident Tyrone Wilson says he's anticipating Buc-ee's coming to the city and the economic activity it could bring with it.
I definitely think from an employment standpoint, it brings more jobs and things of that nature. Ultimately, I think that it's just a good thing because the town is growing.
The Buc-ee's size divide coming more into focus as leaders appear to be moving full steam ahead on the project. Flint Snyder, WRAL News, Mebane.
Mebane's mayor has told WRAL previously the Buc-ee's location could open by early 2027. Buc-ee's responded to our request for comment by saying no comment.
Carolina Beach sees its fair share of flooding, like here back in September when a potential tropical cyclone dumped more than a foot of rain in the area. There is a team working to find a solution for flooding issues at Carolina Beach. Researchers from UNC Chapel Hill and NC State have analyzed 3 different parts of Canal Drive for the last 5 years. They put sensors in storm drains and on the roads to track flooding. Researchers say a lot of rain and wind make the issues worse, and so do king tides. The major tides roll in every month or two, including this week.
All that water everywhere. We've seen enough of it in the last few days for sure. Elizabeth Gardner over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. What is that clearing I see? Is it
it's starting to dry out just a little bit. And when we say dry out, I mean, it just means the rain's not falling as heavily. There's still a lot of drizzle out there. Some scattered rain still showing up on the radar, especially down to the south and east. That's where we're going to have a better chance of some severe storms later today. And we're going to talk more about that. Not likely necessarily in our viewing area, but we do have a weather alert day now for Friday. So again, a little bit of light patchy rain out there, but with the rain that we saw overnight last night, it's going to feel pretty messy as you're heading out the door. There's going to be some fog, lots of drizzle, and of course still some rain there falling in Goldsboro. We'll take a look at the big picture. This low is going to ride up the coast and bring a good bit of rain mainly to the coast, and we'll be sort of in between systems today and start to dry out a little bit. We check out Futurecast right now. We do have that band of rain that's mainly in our eastern counties. At 6 a.m. notice it's really dissipating, and by 8 o'clock there's no rain showing up here on the radar, at least on Futurecast, but it's still going to feel wet out. There's going to be road spray. It's going to feel messy. At lunchtime, we're pretty quiet, and then later in the afternoon, we may by 5 or 6 o'clock see a little bit of sunshine trying to peek out. At that point, there could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm that pops up, but most of the rain is really starting to taper off. So showers and thunderstorms moving out to the east, an isolated chance of a shower around midday, but then trending much drier, especially for the evening commute. We take a live look at downtown Raleigh from our Jimmy V camera. You can see the streets are wet here in Raleigh currently. Right now, our temperature is 66, and we'll hold it in the 60s all the way through lunchtime, and then finally warm up into the 70s later on. Some 50s out there too, 57 in Southern Pines, 55 in Roxborough, but it's 63 in Garner, 64 in Holly Springs, 64 in Apex and in Cary. This afternoon, we'll climb on up into the mid-70s to around 80 degrees, especially if we see the clouds breaking up a little bit. So if you're headed out to the Canes game to do a little tailgating, you're probably going to be okay. There's a small chance of a thunderstorm, but for the most part, we should be fairly dry, drier than we've been, and temperatures will be comfortable in the mid-70s. Mid-70s is still pretty well below average. 83 is our average high in Raleigh, and there in Fayetteville, it is also 85. So we do have a weather alert day for Friday. A 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms and a level 2 risk, and we're going to talk more in detail about the timeline and what to expect for Friday. Ken?
Elizabeth, just about 10 minutes before 5, we have the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning on the Beltline. Kelsey Coffee, Mark Alexic giving us a first-hand account of what you can expect as you head out this morning. You can see the windshield wipers going. The great news is very light traffic this morning, but once you get out on the roads, definitely watch your spacing, watch your speed as well. Back here live in the WRAL Traffic Center this morning, we want to give you an opportunity to let you know about a tree down in the Durham area. It's right here on Marley Drive, right near South Miami Boulevard. We have a live look at that right now. now, courtesy of photographer Michael Joyner, showing us exactly what that live picture looks like. Here, you see it right here. That entire oak tree right down. You got utility company crews right there trying to figure out exactly what's going on. There's some power lines down as well. We've got a live crew. We've got a crew right there on the scene. We'll bring you a live report coming up.
Thanks, Ken. Still ahead at 5, energy priorities. Governor Josh Steiner is laying out his policies today on that issue, and we'll let you know what he's expected to say in his speech.
And preventable deaths, leaving your child in a hot car. 5 on Your Side shares easy steps parents can take to avoid that mistake and why you should be especially vigilant at the end of the work week.